You heard the president tell us what he wants healthcare reform to look like. But let me ask you a question. Does it really matter what the president wants it to look like? Or is it really more important what the health industry and lobbyists and even those who back the president, by the way, want it to look like? I'm serious. I'm actually asking this question, whether the president's power is actually trumped by something that may be even more powerful than the president. And here's why I'm raising this question. Numbers. Numbers we did a story on yesterday here at CNN.com. You may have read the story, or maybe it was below the radar because there was so much other important stuff to talk about. This figure, this number, $375 million. That is how much has been spent, mostly by the health and insurance industry, to influence this debate, to influence this important debate. It's on track to be the most money ever poured into any one issue in the history of our country at any given time. Let me break this down for you even a little bit more. This is money mostly spent to stop reform in the last 8 months. Lobbying efforts, $280 million. Those are the closed-door meetings, the cocktail parties, the perks, large and small, $280 million. Ads, we've all seen them. $75 million. And by the way, those are ads on both sides. Pro-reform, anti-reform, pro the president, Democrat, GOP, you got it all there. Campaign donations, $23 million. You think they expect a return on that? You bet they do. And that's today's breakthrough. Senator Bernie Sanders is an independent from Vermont who is convinced that politics has become way too corporatized, if not controlled. Good afternoon, Senator.
Good to be with you, Rick.
When someone gives you hundreds of thousands of dollars, they certainly wouldn't want anything in return, right? They've just got some extra money laying around.
Absolutely not. They're just interested in democracy and just want to help the democratic process. The idea that maybe they would get something for their money, I am sure you will agree with me, is the furthest possible thing from their minds.
Now, you know, it's interesting. You and I can be tongue-in-cheek about this and have a lot of fun with it, but I hear Americans screaming over death panels, screaming over immigrant labor, but shouldn't they also be just as angry, if not more so, about politicians that are getting all this money, which would make me think, why should you love me if they're giving you all that money?
Well, Rick, you're absolutely right, and thank you for speaking about an issue that far too people do talk about. Look, we pay the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs, far higher than any other country. You know why? You know why? Because the drug company pours hundreds of millions of dollars into the political process. We're the only country in the industrialized world that does not provide health care to all of its people. You know why? You're seeing it right now. Because the health industry, the drug companies, the hospitals, all of these organizations are making billions right now. They don't want us to touch their profits, and they're going to influence legislation.
And they do. And well, let's name names. Let me go through here. I went to a website I invite all of you at home to go to. It's called opensecrets.org. You think that's a good website, Senator?
Yes, I do.
All right, I pulled up 3 names. I pulled yours up, of course, as well. But let's go with 3 people who've been very much involved in this health care debate. I got Mitch McConnell, Republican, Max Baucus, Democrat, and Chuck Grassley. Let's look at these are the people who are talking about this healthcare debate, right? Let's see how much money they've gotten from healthcare. Let's start with Mr. Grassley over here, all right? Top 5 industries, health professionals have given him $222,000, insurance, $184,000, pharmaceuticals, $145,000, lobbyists, $137,000, hospitals, nursing homes, $137,000. Those are the top 5 people who've given him money. Let's go over here to Mr. McConnell. Look at Mr. McConnell. Let's go to the page. Okay, again, this is the top 5 industries that have given him money. Securities and investment, $1,116,000. Lawyers, $918,000. But let's go down here to health professionals. $713,000. Those are 2 Republicans. Here's the big brouhaha Democrat on this. Not too far off, by the way. Securities and investment, top 5 industries, $842,000. Insurance, $552,000. Health professionals, $497,000. Pharmaceuticals, $507,000. Now, $507,000. That's a big nut for someone who's making decisions about how our health care is going to be run to be getting from someone who's very interested in how it's going to be run, isn't it?
Sure it is, and you're not adding into that equation the amount of money that goes directly to both political parties.
Now yours is, let's just look at yours real
All
quick
right.
here. I
And
want to
that
start
does it.
doing this all.
Yeah, and he looks into Sanders, which is good. You're supposed to do that as a journalist, and it turns out Sanders gets money from, consumer advocates and lawyers. He gets it from lawyers too. Okay, that was one of his top 5, but they were all. He doesn't take any corporate money at all. Sanders does. He's independent. But that was journalism right there. Okay?
Right. Oh, no question. It was great. I thought it was terrific. And you know what's amazing about it is that it's so rare.
Yeah.
When do you see that?
See, we shouldn't have to show you that clip.
Right.
That should be 24/7 on television. And why do we show you that? When I give you numbers like that all the time on the show, it's because it's such a rare occurrence that it actually happens on television.
You know, Walter Cronkite's memorial service was this week, and it struck me how many journalists went there and talked about Walter Cronkite and then went back to their studios and behaved like Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would not have expected, as I said before, honestly, because of his career in local news down in Miami, et cetera, when I was down there, I would not have expected Rick Sanchez to be the hero of journalism. But there it is. He's the one guy saying, hey, look, let's actually figure out how politics actually works. Why did the senators vote the way they do? Do you think 500,000 or 700,000 or millions of dollars might influence them? Of course it influences them. Now, if it's that obvious to Sanchez, why isn't it that obvious to everybody on television who claim to be news anchors or news reporters?
Watch more clips at theyoungturks.com.